Yeah, well, it's so good to see everybody. It is such a fun time of year, and we're super excited to be, starting this season with our team. Our team is, they've been working so incredibly hard, and I feel really good about the growth that we've had. I feel really good about where our team is right now to be able to start our season. I love that our team has that combination of some returners that are really good veteran leaders. There's a lot of new faces on our team. We have a lot of youth on our team, which has been fun in practices, but just being able to have that combination and see just how they've grown and how they've become connected and how they continue to grow on and off the court has been really fun. We're excited for these challenges that are ahead of us, in our non-conference schedule, and I think our team is working really, really hard to be able to compete.
All right, guys, open it for questions. In the last few weeks.
In the last few weeks since we last talked to you, where do you see the biggest areas of growth for your team?
Yeah, well, we've got lots of areas that we're just really focusing on. On the defensive side of the ball, we're really focusing on our rebounding. For us, when you look at rebounding, it's the same as when you see offense and defense. It's all about a team, right? So sometimes people are locking up and boxing out, and sometimes people are flying in. But for us, that rebounding area has been a big focus for us, and we've seen a lot of growth in that area.
Brandon?
Have there been any challenges with this many newcomers, just getting the terminology of your language of how to discuss basketball plays, that sort of thing? Has there been any challenges with just communicating what you want the players to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every team has its own challenges in different ways, and sometimes the newness of our team, it's really fun and it's exciting and we're hungry and we've got a lot of heart. And then we also have a lot to learn, and like I mentioned, those returners earlier, they're really helping our newcomers, but you just have to be able to take extra time for that. You've got to meet every single team where they're at, and then you've got to be able to help them grow. I think that's been fun. Some of the terminology things, one of my favorite things is in practice whenever they just say, "Can you remind me what that means again?" And you just go at it and you have fun. We work really hard, but we take those moments as growing moments and learning opportunities. And I wish you could say that that's only limited to newcomers. I think throughout every single team, we all got reminders that we need every now and again. And it's been really good the way that our team has helped each other. That's been really fun to see, the way that they help each other kind of during those moments that you're talking about.
Of the returners, who have you seen make the biggest leap between last year through the summer and to coming into this year?
Well, my goodness, they've been working so hard all summer. I think we all know, what Delaney Crawford is capable of, and just she continues to expand her game. Hadley Perriman has grown leaps and bounds over the summer. We all saw what Elise Hill could kind of do a little bit, towards the end of our season there, and she's just used that as a springboard and continues to get better and better and better. And the same with Maddie Cartwright. Maddie Cartwright has worked really, really hard, and she's been able to expand her game and grow her game, and so I'm really excited about what they're going to do on the floor.
And then with the newcomers, which players do you see making kind of that immediate impact right away?
Yeah, I think our team is always going to be about teamwork and toughness, like we talk about, and I think it's going to be a really balanced attack. Some days it's this newcomer or that newcomer, and then another day it's this one or that one. I think Jade Clack has made a tremendous impact in our practices already. I think Paige Bradley has as well. And then you look at Crystal Eisen and what she's done on the floor whenever she gets in there and she pushes tempo and she's really quick and a playmaker for others. I think all three of those have made big impacts in our practice.
What has been the biggest thing that you've talked about in practice thus far leading up to this opener?
Yeah, I think we're still building on our culture of love, trust, and work, and what that looks like on the floor, right? And when you talk about love on the floor, we talk about helping each other. So we talk a lot about communication, right? And when we talk about trust, we talk about always having each other's back and making sure that we're communicating. So kind of consistently within every practice, whenever we look at different drills and different growth areas from a basketball and a skill standpoint, we're always talking about the communication. We're always talking about the work. We're always talking about the effort, just to make sure that those foundations are consistent. And then within within that, each day we focus on different emphasis and different skill sets. And really, I think one thing about our team that we love is the versatility that we have. And so a lot of teams have identities as being this team, like they're strictly a ball screen team or they're strictly a high-low team. I think for us and the versatility that we have, whenever we're talking about those skill sets and those X's and O's, it's going to be a really broad range of things. And really, I really admire our players for working hard in so many different areas to be able to accomplish those things in practice.
You were able to add a lot of size too this year. Girls like you got Hadley back, but also adding like the freshman Toby in. Sorry, I think. Anyways, adding girls like that and also long girls like Jade. Just adding those girls, what is that going to really be able to help the versatility of this team this season?
Yeah, we really went after some size and some versatility with our incoming classes. I think when you have size and versatility, you can use that as your strengths all over the floor. It doesn't really box players in or put them in one position or another. Really excited about some of the size that we added. Hopefully it's going to help with that rebounding that we were talking about. But I also think, from a guard standpoint, when you look at our team, like our guards, we got some bigger guards that are here, which are just going to continue to add versatility and give us some advantages in that area.
To go back a little bit to last year and that great success, some of it surprised people. Tell me about some of the reaction you got during the off season from either people that reached out, transfer portal people, or recruits, that kind of thing. And then secondly, are you seeing that success carry into early practices from the standpoint of expectations of each player among themselves and what they expect, maybe even more than before?
Yeah, well, we're so grateful for the success that our players were able to experience. They worked extremely hard to be able to have those opportunities, and then they were prepared for those opportunities that were put in front of them, and that allowed them to be successful in postseason play and even in conference. It's really hard to win a conference championship. It's really hard to finish first in the league and go down and into that tournament as the 1 seed, and our players earned it, and I'm so happy for them because I get to see the work that they put in every single day. I think with every team, there comes a point where you turn the page and you're able to kind of focus on that next chapter. Don't want to focus on that next chapter without just giving a big thank you to all of our fans and all our supporters. Everybody who reached out, everybody who sent emails, everybody who called, all those things with our whole entire team. It's so meaningful. And one thing that's really important in life is that you celebrate all those little successes along the way. And our fans and our community were definitely a big part of celebrating all those successes that our team had. When we look at turning the page and going into that next chapter, I think we have some returners that have come back hungrier than ever. They're not satisfied. We enjoy those moments that we have where we're successful in those opportunities that are given, but we also get to coach and recruit some very high-driven individuals that are high achievers in all areas of their life, not just basketball. And so it's been fun to be able to see those desires filter into our freshmen who are just coming in, who want it just as bad as our returners do, but they're learning kind of what that takes along the way.
Bruce?
Coach, as much as you've always stressed team ball and 5 players, positionless basketball and that sort of thing, but the fact is, you had 2 really high scorers last year, and you have Delaney back. Do you sense it'll be more balanced this year scoring-wise? That's what your goal, I assume, is?
Well, I'm really excited about our options right now. If I knew the future and how all that would play out, obviously we'd know exactly what play to call every single time. But I think we've got a good sense of that. And one thing I do think that is going to be this team's strength is their teamwork, is a balanced attack, is the way that we can have weapons all over the floor, and nobody's really ever going to know what's going to come at them in that possession. And that's why we went for a lot of versatile players, to be able to do those things and to help them play off of each other's strengths. I love that even though in the past we've had, the kind of the dynamic duo that led the way from a scoring standpoint, our team has always been about playing for each other. And no matter what those stat sheets say or whatever those numbers are, we're always going to be about playing for each other. And the way that our team, as many new faces as we may have, the one thing that they've consistently embraced is the way they give for each other every day and the way they're going to play for each other on the floor.
Michael's got one more. I'm sorry. All right, Michael.
Did you have the option of playing an exhibition game?
Within the NCAA rules, you're allowed to do exhibition games, or you can do close scrimmages, and they just limit you on those amounts.
So Why did you choose not to play an exhibition game?
We chose to do close scrimmages for our team development and our growth, and those things that we wanted to work on with our team and be able to grow in the way that we could maybe have a little bit more of a different environment through those scrimmages.
Do you then worry any about them being under the lights for the first time on Wednesday without having had that experience before, given that you have a younger team?
Yeah, I certainly think that there's going to be a little bit of jitters. I mean, we talk about our warrior dial quite a bit, right? And how you can use some of those jitters a little bit to your advantage to be able to get to where you need to be to peak perform. We play under the lights every day in practice, but you're right. It is a little bit different when we put on the uniforms, whenever we run out of the tunnel and you warm up and you hear the whistle and wonder why you got called for that foul. Those are absolutely things that are going to happen with game experience. And I am excited for our team to be able to prepare for that and be able to experience that on Wednesday.
Can you tell me, are you preparing for this first game? What do you see that they do best? What are you preparing for? It's obviously so early to just get all the jitters out, get all the mistakes out early on, but what do they do best? What are you guys kind of looking forward to?
Well, I think one thing that's really fun about early games is nobody really truly knows each other yet, and so we have a lot of speculation, about those things. And so typically you want to prepare, and you want to make sure that you prepare your team to be their best. So you're going to focus a lot on yourselves. They have a new coach, they have new players, they have a completely different system than the same team that we played last year. So we're going to do a little bit of homework to try to see if we can, make our best guess at what we may see, but we're going to focus a lot on what we can control and those controllables.